it is official. I will be competing once more against the master, the professor, Cvetan Gashevski. Now, the last time I was competing against Cvetan was last year at King of the Table International, where he beat the then world champion Bojdar Semyonov. Now, this guy really needs no introduction for any arm wrestling aficionado, but for those of you who are not as familiar with the arm wrestling scene and arm wrestling history, Cvetan is a multiple time Bulgarian national champion, European champion, world champion. His list of accolades goes on and on. He's been in the game for decades and decades. He honestly is a living legend of the sport, spoken in the same breath as greats like Engin Terzi, John Brzenk, all of these guys. Cvetan is up there, and in this competition, if I do face him, I will be giving 110% against this master of the sport, and hopefully everything goes well. The Vier Sport event that I will be competing at this weekend is gonna be even more incredible. This event will have a prize pool of 20,000 US dollars. It's gonna be so insane. Athletes from all around the world, you know, Bulgaria, Korea, Malaysia, Russia, what have you. Amazing event. I just wanted to spend some time to introduce some of the guys who are going to be in my category. There are currently 23 people on the lineup for 86 kilo category, which is what I'm going to be competing at. Normally I compete in the 78 kilo category, but for this tournament there is no 78 kilos, so having to step up a weight class once again, not going to be easy, especially coming off of injuries from IFA World Championships just a month or two back. But I'm feeling pretty okay at this point, feeling pretty good about my chances. And yeah, just gonna introduce you guys to some of the notable names. So first of all, I just wanted to highlight a couple of the top Indonesian guys who are going to be in this tournament bracket. Starting off with, of course, my first opponent this year in my first ever international super match, Iwan Diono, the guy that beat me 3-2, if you guys can remember. He's going to be here. I think he's coming down from like 90 plus kilos down to this 86 kilo category. Very strong guy. He, along with the next two names, Reynaldo and Tiknio, these guys are all pretty much interchangeably at the top level of the Indonesian 86 kilo class. So these guys at any time of the day could beat either one of them. It's really hard to say who's number one right now in Indonesia, but yeah, these three names, very powerful guys. You guys have already seen, I already got beaten by Iwan Diono, and if those other two guys are anywhere close to strength, then they're probably going to be pretty big challenges for me as well. Moving on, of course, we have Guy Tanapat, Eastside representative, but unfortunately he's also going to be my opponent in this tournament bracket. Hopefully I don't meet him too early on, but yeah, Guy, a very strong athlete, only been arm wrestling for like 2 years or so, but he's already reached the top level in Thailand, as well as recently at the IFA World Championships, third place in the under 21s for 78 kilo category. He's also stepping up a weight class for this tournament. And yeah, usually his left is stronger, but his right has come a very long way. And he says that it is very strong and ready to go. So I trust that his preparation has been good for this competition. You've seen him in my Instagram reels, my YouTube shorts, so you know how powerful he is, recently coming off a big win at UAC Invasion as well. Speaking of UAC Invasion, my teammate Zhu Zhiyu recently had the unfriendly super match with him, or unfriendly ultra match, sorry, where he beat me. And yeah, that was a pretty good showcase of his level. Extremely powerful. Last year, he was the Asian champion in 78 kilos. This year, stepping up a weight class like many of us to compete under 86 kilos with the big boys, so to speak. So I'm very, very confident that Tzu is going to be doing well. I've been practicing with him a little bit over the past couple of weeks, and he feels solid. His hand control out of this world. I think he's going to make a mark at this competition. And also we have Kim Tae-in, surprise, surprise. Last year, he did compete at Vier as well. This year, coming back, presumably to try his hand again at a title shot at Vier. Kim Tae-in, I had met him last year when he came over to Singapore. He had a super match at the time with my teammate T Jun. In the super match, he did beat T in a pretty convincing fashion, and supposedly Kim has stepped up a level since then. So very powerful. Last year, he even beat Iwan Diono at this very same tournament. So yeah, he is not a guy to take lightly by any means. And also, we have from Malaysia, Jolly Johnson, father of Joffy Jolly, if you guys know him. Jolly Johnson is pretty much the #1 grandmaster or even masters in Malaysia at this point. Very powerful, bulky guy, usually walks around in the 90 kilo or so range. I think he's also cutting down for this weight class, so big guy cutting down. I'm pretty nervous about facing him because I've never faced Jolly before. I've been told that he has a really, really good sticking point, sort of a almost king's move kind of thing, has really strong biceps, a really good hand. So these types of guys are pretty much my kryptonite. So hopefully I can get really fast hits on most of these opponents. Hopefully prep is going well. Still feeling a little bit in my elbow, and of course some nerve issues in my hand still lingering on from IFA Worlds, but I think they should be manageable by the time I am in Indonesia this weekend. I'll give you guys more updates closer to the competition. See you guys in the next video.